You know, at some point, I just want to believe that this stuff isn't real. That maybe this is just some joke that someone on the internet made and trying to pass it off as real. But the way things are, I would not be surprised. Because we saw what Flounder looked like. So this this is Sebastion in the new live action Little Mermaid. Wow, the resemblance is uncanny, isn't it? Like I So here's the all-star cast. We've got Sebastion, we have this horrendous looking Flounder, and then we have race swapped Ariel. Gee, this movie is gonna make tons, isn't it? And people can say, it's live action and blah blah blah. Okay, what's your point? We're living in 2023. This multi-billion-dollar company has all this money to spend, and this is what it comes out for. This is what Sebastion looks like. Like I refuse to believe this is what Sebastion is actually going to look like. I'm seriously hoping this is a troll of some kind. But it says new official look at Sebastion in the upcoming Little Mermaid, the Little Mermaid live Disney live action has been revealed in a new book cover. So this is Sebastion. 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 Are like I multi-billion-dollar, and this is what we get. Just like Disney, instead of doing this, why don't you just piss on all of our fucking faces? Seriously, because that's what you're freaking doing. You're taking a piss. This multi-billion-dollar company can come up with this with today's technology. We had stuff like this early 2000s. Scooby-Doo, very very close to the cartoon, but also gave it a realistic kind of an uncanny valley look. Very expressive. But then you look at stuff recently like The Lion King, where you have the scene where he's in the gorge and he's about to be stampeded on, and in the movie version, the animated version, very animated. He's like, but in the live action, he's like, what are you doing, Disney? You're doing the bare minimum. Same thing, early 2000s. What is the freaking excuse, Disney? And then when we criticize this crap, you want to call us every name in the book. You want to say, you don't like it, don't watch it. This was the early 2000s. I remember seeing this in the freaking theaters. This was amazing, and even now, this holds up extremely well. Extremely well. Davy Jones is by far one of the best pieces of animated CGI in that I can think of in recent years, because it looked so good. The Warcraft movie, despite it being really crappy, it was amazing. The orcs, just all these fantasy creatures looked so good. It felt like they were actual living, breathing creatures that you could go out and see. And this, billions of dollars, this was ages ago at this point. 2023. And this is what we get from a billion-dollar company. This is what we get from the mighty and powerful Disney, who has a hand in almost every company on the freaking planet. This is what we get. The bare minimum, half-assed, freaking crappy freaking Sebastion. Freaking just atrocious looking Flounder, and a freaking race swapped Ariel. And then when the movie doesn't do well, and people, you guys, you just a bunch of racists. It's like we're complaining about Flounder and Sebastion, all this crappy CGI. How is it that CGI in your movies in the early 2000s was better than what it is now? How did you downgrade your CGI when your company is worth billions? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Also an amazing piece of cinema. Having live action and cartoon, it was amazing. And today, it's still kind of yeah, this scene right here. The animated version, the live action version. Oh boy. And this was CGI too. Like the lines were CGI. Why couldn't they make it more animated? This is what I hate when they say live action. It's like they said live action Lion King, but it wasn't live action. The lines were CGI. Like the actual CGI is amazing on Simba, but it's too realistic where it lacks emotion like animated could have. Exactly. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Cats can display emotion, but this is what Disney gives us now, the bare minimum. They're just like, oh, let's just keep rehashing and spitting out these old animated movies and do the bare freaking minimum with them. Yeah, this is what they did. Everyone respects Sega and whoever worked on this. So this was the original Sonic design. He had those like creepy, realistic human teeth, and people complained. They're like, why does Sonic look like this? And then they changed it to look more like his cartoon, his in-game counterpart, just making it a little more realistic. Instead of just having him one solid color, make him have the little quills and fur, and it looked good. People were like, oh my god, that is Sonic. And guess what? The movie did extremely well. Jiminy Cricket's the name. The live action Ratatouille is about to be a banger. Oh, that is so precious. I just. All ashore! Oh, it's going ashore, Mr. Squidward. And people keep bringing up the Davy Jones. This was Dead Man's Chest. I think it was like what 2006, 2005. Let me check. Okay, yeah, just looked up. This was 2006. 2006. This is the kind of CGI Disney was using in 2006. Disney, stop trying to make things look real and learn lean into your cartoonish origins. I mean, it's I can hear the music playing in my head. Fight scene with Ursula. Ooh, 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 ooh. Our expectations were low for you were low, but holy. So, Davy Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, 2006. The Little Mermaid, live action, 2023. What's your problem, Disney? I remember when you had pride making your movies. This is just they're just dead and soulless now. You're just doing it to pump movies out to make the money. When you don't realize that it's not all about the money, it's about bringing something that people want to see that can bring people together and enjoy and remember. No one is going to freaking remember this crap. They remember the original, the animated, because the animated movie is freaking amazing. One of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I used to watch Little Mermaid all the freaking time. I used to watch Hercules and Lion King and Aladdin all the freaking time. No one is going to remember this because you're just pumping out dead, soulless remakes. You had the technology in 2006 to make Davy Jones look amazing. The CGI in those movies were amazing. And this is what we get in 2023. Just a boring, regular looking crap. They could have easily done what they could to make this just a little more realistic. But no, they're just like, no, let's just make it a regular freaking crap. Get your crap together, Disney. No one is going to remember this because we can clearly see what you're doing. They're dead, soulless, just remakes being pushed out and pushed out and pushed out because you just want this. You just want this. You want to push your little diversity. You want to push my representation. Hence why hence why you gender swapped Ariel for no damn reason. You had no problem with her being white in the original, considering that she's based on a character written by a man who lived in a all-white area. And mermaids aren't real. What's your point? What's your point? They had no problem making her white the first time, and yet let's just race swap for no freaking reason. Let's make this as ugly as freaking possible. Let's make Flounder look as ugly as possible. I mean, it doesn't even look like the splash. Look, it doesn't even look real. It doesn't even look like it's there. It looks like it was freaking photoshopped. And this is like a scene in the movie, apparently. Disney, what are you doing? Get it together. Get it together. Get it together. And this is why none of your crappy freaking remakes are ever going to be remembered, and why people are just going to keep going back to the originals. Like, if you were to do another Alice in Wonderland or Cinderella or this and that, they're just going to suck. And people rather watch the movies from 1950s and all that than the crap that you're putting out now. Think about that. Think about people rather watch Pinocchio or Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty, the animated versions from ages ago, rather, over the stuff that you're putting out now. Why? Because it had passion. It had charm. These aren't charming anymore. There's no passion in these. It's all to push out money, bring revenue in for you, and to push, little check boxes. That's all it is now. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later.